ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरञ्चिनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाप्तिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते शरणारविन्दं वन्दे महापुरुषते शरणारविन्दम्. Namaste, Hare Krishna. So, I hope you all remember.
Remember what?
Which section of Ramayana are we in? We are in Bhagavatam. No, we are doing Bhagavatam, right? We are doing Bhagavatam. So, we have covered the third canto, close to almost 17, 18, I think, chapters. Few more chapters, and that concludes that canto, where the conversation is going to happen between Devahuti and her son Kapiladev. Kapiladev is the incarnation of Krishna, Narayana himself. So that's the section we have to see to complete the third canto. And then from fourth canto onwards, it's going to be Dhruva Maharaj stories and Shiva and Daksha Prajapati, Sati leaving her body, all those stories you must have heard. That's going to come up in the fourth canto. Very interesting stories. When we get there, we'll see that. So we'll spend some time. We'll spend some time here to just quickly recap of what we covered so far, not going into too much details. So it just connects us from where we started and where we are today. The first canto, we covered pretty much all the chapters. You see. So the sages are asking questions, and the questions is based on, especially on trying to understand the life of Parikshit Maharaj. I'm just not going to go step by step, it's just main points of what we covered so far. And Parikshit life story was explained, and also we saw little bit story from Mahabharata, where Ashwatthama is trying to, he was trying to kill the baby within the womb of Uttara, Parikshit, who's not yet born. So he was punished also. We saw that. And the story goes on how Parikshit Maharaj then went into trying to chase away the Kali Purusha, the Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga asked for some places where he can stay. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj gave some places, 10 places where he can stay, and the 4 are very important. Wherever there are gambling happens, wherever the women are being ill-treated, wherever there are intoxication happens, and wherever there are, what's the other one? Truth. Wherever there's a gambling, intoxication, the women are ill-treated, and then the animal slaughtering happens, right? These places Kali will take over. So the 4 places were given, and we saw that also. And what happened was, Parikshit one fine day he went to hunting, and then he came to a rishi's place where he was very thirsty, and the rishi was in meditation. Therefore, he felt that he was not welcomed well. Therefore, he took a dead snake and put it around the neck of this rishi. The son of rishi was a young boy. He got upset with it, and he immediately cursed Parikshit Maharaj that he will be killed by a snake, Takshaka, a bird snake, Takshaka, in 7th day. On the 7th day, he will be dead. So the Muni was not happy, we saw that, but then the curse has been uttered, but the message reached to Parikshit Maharaj, and the Parikshit Maharaj was not disappointed or upset, rather he was glad that he deserved this punishment of such an act that he did to a rishi. Therefore, he went and searched for what am I going to do in 7 days. Then he gathered all the rishis and munis, everyone were there at that point of time. Shukadev Goswami arrived on the spot. Remember the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Suta Goswami is narrating to Saunaka rishis. Suta Goswami is one of the audience who was sitting and hearing when Shukadev Goswami was narrating the entire Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. That's how the story goes, right? Story within the story within the story. So Parikshit Maharaj inquired some valuable questions. The questions were the Srimad Bhagavatam is, and today, even though this was many thousands of years old Bhagavatam, but even today it is valid because the question that's been asked are basic, general, fundamental questions. It doesn't matter whether we are in 2020 or 2050. The questions are going to be same questions. Right? For example, we are in 2019. We will all be eating through our mouth. 2020, is anything going to change? That's a basic. How are you going to eat? Through mouth. Right? If you're healthy, not about not healthy, then pipes and everything goes inside. Let's not talk about that. So it's not going. Some basic things are not going to change. Likewise, there are fundamental basic questions that humans should be aware of. Purpose of life, why do they exist, what are they supposed to do in life, etc., etc. Does it only applicable for Indians? No. Doesn't matter whether Indian or Western or Eastern or black or white or yellow or however it is, men or women, doesn't matter. Everyone has the same questions to be answered. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj asked this very valuable question for humanity. And Sukadeva Goswami was very pleased by these questions and he was trying to answer the question. That's all we saw in those first sections of Bhagavatam. Then Sukadeva Parikshit Maharaj asked, what am I supposed to do? 7 days is approaching. What am I supposed to do now? And he said, you get into dhyan, meditation. Right? It's not new. This meditation, yoga are all very famous now. Yoga means it's becoming so famous now, right? Everyone does yoga, many things. So yoga, so that time only started. So you have to meditate, dhyana. How am I supposed to meditate? Well, you meditate. Then he gave a process, a long process of how he has to start meditating. Consider the entire creation as the body of Mahavishnu. And starting from his feet, Patala Loka, this loka, that he went into lokas, talas and lokas, into 14 planetary systems. You have to imagine this one, that one, and everything is part and parcel of, start imagining, and that's how you meditate. And you leave your body. Where am I going to leave the body? If I start thinking like this, very difficult to control the mind. And I have to imagine the entire creation, Purusha, the entire Purusha should be in this creation. We are all part and parcel of the Lord. Well, that's going to be challenging, very difficult. Please tell me if there's another way where we can easily think about God. Well, the Murti, the beautiful form of the Lord, the temple, the deity Archa Vigraha, the deity form of the Lord is very easy. Are you familiar with that? He said, of course, that's very easy. That I can see. If you want me to see the entire big thing as a universe, that's never seen. It's going to be difficult. So you can start meditating on the form of the Lord, and that will get the same benefit out of it, like how you did. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj was recommended to do this one. Well, this conversation happened. Then the discussion went on how the creation happens. Creation. And then even the Sutta Goswami and then the Saunaka Rishi, they were, that's not going to be the end of the Bhagavatam. Looks like you're wrapping up Bhagavatam after telling Parishit Maharaj, now we got the answer. I'm sure there should have been more conversation happen between these two parties. Right? So there should be something more. Could you please tell more? Tell more. And then, yes, there were many conversations happened. And then we also saw how the Purana should have certain lakshanam, certain things. It had to talk about the creation, manvantra, avatara, and all those different things, right? Those are all being discussed. What are the lakshana of the Bhagavatam, the Purana? And all those topics are covered in Srimad Bhagavatam. And could you please explain more, tell more about what has been discussed over there? About the creation especially. Then the creation, you see, by the association, Narada Muni became a devotee. By the association of the devotees, he became a devotee, his previous life. And then now Brahma started creating. He created many rishis through his minds. And then he also created 4 children. 4 children. Those 4 children were, the purpose of Mahavishnu was lying down. From his navel, the lotus flower sprouted out, came out. In the lotus flower, Brahma appeared. Mahavishnu was lying down. From his navel, the flower came, and from the flower, the Brahma appeared. And then Brahma was not sure what to do. He was traveled all over, up and down. He couldn't find a way. Then he heard a voice, Tapa. Tapa means do austerity. If you want to see God, God is not something very easily available. It's not cheap. Therefore, you have to perform some austerity in your life. Therefore, Brahma did many years, thousands of years, many years, not our 1,000 years, a different calculation altogether. So he was doing austerity, and finally he was able to get a glimpse of the Lord. Then he was assigned a service to create. That's what the service been given to him. He has to start creating. So he started creating. When he created these 4 boys, small boys, Chatur Kumaras, the 4 boys. Now boys, you go, you get married, and get children and populate the world. And this boy said, well, we don't want to get into that program. It's very difficult. Getting married means we have to satisfy the family members, and the children will come. We have to spend children's time with our children, taking them to park and all those institutes and this program, that program, and it's too much of work. Our mind, we don't want to focus on that. It's difficult. It's waste of time for us. They are different levels, right? We don't want to waste our time over there. We fully want to dedicate ourselves in God realization, in self-realization. And then Brahma became quite unhappy. Father is telling something and the children was not listening. That happened that time only. Right? The first time. So the children was not listening, but Brahma was trying to control his anger, but then his anger came out without his control through his forehead. Something came out from his forehead, fire came out from his forehead. And from that appeared a small baby, nice looking, cute baby, very cute baby. But this baby was constantly crying. Of course, baby born means going to cry, right? If the baby doesn't cry, parents will be not happy. This is interesting, right? When the baby is born, parents are expecting the baby to cry. After the baby is grown, always crying. Right? It's the opposite. Why don't you smile? Anyway, so this baby was constantly crying, and then it was asking, give me a name, because I've been born from you, you have not giving any name to me, and what am I supposed to do? And then he said, you've been crying constantly, therefore your name will be Rudra. Rudra, Ru means to cry, Rudra. Like how Ravana had a name, he got a name from Lord Shiva as Ravana. Before his name was Dasagriva, 10-head Griva, Dasagriva. Because he was playing with Lord Shiva wrong, he did something wrong, and finally he pleased Lord Shiva, and I was crying and singing, therefore Lord Shiva came and said, your name will be Ravana. You cried and sang very nicely, therefore your name will be Ravana. Likewise, Rudra got his name, and he was expanded himself into 11 Rudras, and he got his consort, and then Brahma said, please, you at least start propagating, produce more population. And Lord Shiva started doing this one. And we saw that also, what all happened. One fine day, what happened? After that, the Swayambhuva Manu, he came. He was also born Lord Brahma. He came to Brahma and said, Brahmaji, something is not going well. You want me to populate the world. Shatarupa was his wife, Swayambhuva Manu's wife. He said, if you want us to produce children, we need to have a place to live. And the earth has been immersed into the ocean. So we have to get the earth out. Therefore, help us. Brahma can create and do things, but lifting is not his problem. He cannot lift heavy things, right? So he was thinking what to do. He was just thinking about, like, wondering, how am I going to lift this earth from this ocean? While he was thinking, something popped out from his nostrils, from his nose. A small particle came out, not dirt. It's Vishnu's avatar, boar, wild boar, Varaha. The boar came out of the nose. It was very small. And then everyone's wondering what happened. So it came out, it started becoming bigger. And my hand is not that big to show how big that was. Huge. Really huge. Very huge. So huge, the anklet that the Varaha was having, those days the anklets was like a big bangle, like a round shape, or it's a big one, and inside that they will have this the gems, the stones, pearls, diamond, valuable things will be there. Like that, Varaha Dev is having an anklet, and inside that Meru mountain size of a Meru mountain, and big mountain, that size of stones were inside. Then imagine size of Varaha Dev. That's just an idea to get how big he must be. He came, he jumped into the ocean, and then he got the Mother Earth, saved Mother Earth, and took her out of the ocean. When he was coming out, the Asura called Hiranyaksha, he came. He was the one who did all this mischievous thing, took Mother Earth and hid it inside the ocean. So he came to fight with Varahadev. Varahadev finished him, killed him. That happened. Now the questions among the sages were asking, why this happened? Who is this Varaha? Who is this Hiranyaksha? Who are they? They know everything, but we don't know, right? That's why they're asking this question. So who is this Hiranyaksha? What happened? How this happened? Why he has to do these sort of things? Then they started telling the story. Remember the four sons? There's four sons of Brahma. One, they can travel freely. They don't have to worry about to reserve a ticket or room or nothing. They can travel however they want, wherever they want. They don't have to worry about changing dresses, laundry mat, nothing they have to find, because no dress. They don't even wear dress. They were just small boys. They were just traveling everywhere. They came to Vaikuntha. One day they came to Vaikuntha, where Vaikuntha has different set of doors, 7 set of doors. So they were traveling. Every doors were open for these boys, 4 boys. Every door they welcomed, because they could see that this is a great personality are coming. 4 children of Brahma. They all opened the door. One after another. The last door need to be opened. They were coming, without any obstacles. As they were coming, in the same speed they were just going inside. The doorkeeper, the last doorkeeper, they are named as Jaya and Vijaya. They blocked the whole thing, and they said, then these 4 boys became very angry, upset, and they said, looks like you see the differences. You're not to be fit to be here. You don't know how to treat the devotees of the Lord. So you don't fit to be here. You've been somehow or the other given this service. You should be thrown out of this place. And they cursed these 2 people. And they got really trembling. They got trembled and they're really fearful. And that's what to do. And then they don't know what to do at that point of time. Lord Narayana, he himself came out. He came out to solve the problem, because there's 2 problems. The leaders are supposed to be like that. When the 2 parties, their dependents are fighting, they should not sit inside the room, close the room and do something. They have to come out and try to solve the problem. Likewise, he was not sitting on the Ananta Sesh or sitting on the throne and not doing anything. Let them fight. Let them fight. No, he came outside. He tried to solve the problem. The way that he solved the problem was he appreciated these four boys. He asked for forgiveness to these four boys on behalf of his servant, the doorkeepers, and they are fit to be cursed. And then these two doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, they don't know what to do now. They were not telling that we have been serving eternally for you, and you are not supporting us, and you're supporting these four boys. They could have asked easily these questions, right? We would, if we were in that position, what? I've been serving you for so many years. I did everything for you, and you took side of the other party. What is this? But they know the heart of the Lord. Whatever the Lord is trying to do is going to be beneficial for them. Therefore, they accepted the curse. He said, "My Lord, only request is that wherever we go, we don't mind about it. But only one request. What's the request? Request is, let us get back soon to our service. We don't want to be in separation from you. We want to come back as early as possible." Well, if you want to come back as early as possible, there's only one option. What's the option? You all have to become asuras and rakshasas, so that in that way I can come quickly and finish you off. You can come back to your service. 3 times you have to take birth. Right? They said, we are fine. They didn't say that, oh, we have to be against you. That is aparad, that is sinful action. How can we do something against you? They didn't think about it, because they know if we do this one, the long-term benefit is they can return back to their service. On that move, they accepted even that curse. So when this curse been applied, happened, over here we saw there is Kashyapa Muni. Kashyapa had several wives. He got wives from Daksha Prajapati. He had children, daughters. He gave in marriage of his daughters to certain rishis. And then Diti and Aditi were the wives, couple of wives of Kashyapa. Diti, one fine day, she went to Kashyapa Muni and said, "My dear husband, I feel like I want to unite with you. I want to be with you, and I have a child. I want a strong child." Kashyapa said, "Well, your desire is accepted. You will get a child. That's not a problem. But now it's not the right time. The time is not auspicious. It's not very good. This is a time of the unwanted spirits are roaming everywhere. The ghosts and goblins and all those witches and everything will be around. This is not the time to unite as husband and wife. There's a right time we have to get together." Diti was pretty much adamant. "I want it now. I can't wait for another day. I want a child now." So she was quite adamant, and he said, well, he tried to convince her, and she was not ready to listen. Therefore, he went with the flow, and finally she was conceived. Then, when she got conceived, then Kashyapa Muni said, "Well, the children that you're going to bear, the children that you're bearing are going to be asuras, the great demons, and they will destroy pretty much everyone. They will be against the dharma, do all unwanted things." And just imagine you're going and telling someone, a mother, like this. Your children are going to be horrible. They will not listen to anyone. They will be torturous. They are envious of everyone. They destroy the other people. They give trouble to mother is going to be wonderful, wonderful. I was looking for a child like this. No mother will be expecting such a child. And therefore she was feeling very painful, very hard. What to do, she don't know. Then somehow or the other it happened. She got a child. 2 children, twins were born. The twins were born. Hiranyakashipu. Another one is Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was the older brother. Hiranyaksha was the younger brother. And they were so very united. The younger brother was serving the older brother. He the way that he was serving, what he wants to serve, go and destroy other planet and give that planet to his brother. That's what he was doing to his brother. So Hiranyaksha was doing the same thing. Then Varaha appeared and killed Hiranyaksha. And what happened to Hiranyakashipu, we will see when we go to the 5th canto. The story will come over there in the 5th canto, 7th canto. And what happened to Hiranyakashipu? how he got killed. Right? They all have to be killed by Vishnu. So Vishnu will again appear in another different form to kill Hiranyakashipu. So these things happen. Once these things have happened, Maitreya Rishi and Vidura, they are conversing. You remember this? Vidura was traveling. When he was traveling, he went to different kshetra, Prabhasa kshetra. He came there and he had a conversation with Uddhava. Then he remembered. Vidura was asking, how is everyone? And then Uddhava remembered Krishna. At the time Krishna left the planet, and then he just remembered about Krishna fully, and then he said, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go to Badrika Ashram, where Narayana is there, and that is the order has been given to me by Krishna. And Uddhava was going to leave, and then Maitreya Vidura was saying that, could you please, before you leave, could you please share whatever you heard from Krishna at the last, when he was leaving? Can you share all this information? I'd like to hear. And Uddhava said, no, not me. Maitreya Rishi is coming. He was also present when I was listening. So when he comes, you can hear from him. So Uddhava left. Maitreya Rishi came. Yes? Maitreya Rishi came. Maitreya Rishi, then as soon as Maitreya came, Vidura was with respectful, folded hands, fell at the feet, and he was asking about, or could you please tell me about what all happened? He was asking the same question of what the creation. While Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, what Sutta been asked by Saunaka Rishi, Sutta Goswami said, I will tell what I heard from Sukadeva Goswami. And then when Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami said, I will tell you what's been spoken by Maitreya and Vidura. Maitreya and Vidura. Right? And that's the conversation that's been told here about the creation and everything. Creation. And then in the conversation they were talking about Kardama Muni, how Kardama Muni, Swayambhuva Manu had two sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. And he had three daughters. Remember, Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa are mind-born children of Brahma. And they are now leading a life. And they got five children, two sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. And we are going to see the Uttanapadas coming up in the fourth canto, how he is related and so forth. And he had three daughters. And one of the daughters was Devahuti. And Devahuti was got given in hand to Kardama Prajapati. How it happened is that's what the story goes. So Kardama Muni was in meditation. He was doing, because he has been given also a service to produce population to the world, to increase the cities and the population. So before he got into the program of producing children, he has to purify himself. He has to get ready so that he can have children. Therefore he was meditating on Lord Vishnu. For many years, Vishnu was very pleased, and he appeared in front of Kardama. We saw these things also. So he came. Vishnu appeared in front of Kardama Muni, and Kardama Muni, Vishnu said, I'm very pleased by your prayers. Please tell me what would you like to have. Just imagine God is coming in front of you, and God is asking you, what would you like to have? Yeah, because you know what to ask. So interesting, Kardama Muni asked, guess what? I want his wife. First of all, asking wife is good. And if he is what type of wife? Come on. Good wife, good husband. It's not. Maybe in those ages it was possible. It's not difficult. Everything is temporary. Food is a temporary word. No one is going to be good. Change life, right? So coming here, Kardama Muni asked, I want a good wife. God is present in front of you, and you're asking for a wife. You could have asked something like that, isn't it? But then he had a reason for everything. He also is telling that I want you, my Lord, like boys. What's going to happen? We're going to even continue the services. But it's not. Joe is a serious. He has higher purpose. He's been given the service. He was sacrifice certain things for the higher purpose. Like a simple thing, when the parents are hungry and they want to eat, and the children are hungry, what do? Eat them first. What do? Let me take care of myself first, and I'll feed you, maybe, after you eat up, and you eat the baby. The higher purpose is what? That is what they can be taken care of first. Therefore, yes, you are asking, give me. In that sense, one can get married, have children, have a husband, for a good spouse, nothing wrong with it. Because to serve the Lord, nothing wrong with that type of prayer is good. Not for one's own self-enjoyment. No. Other money, I want a good wife. And if I already have a plan for it. See the response from Narayana, Vishnu. He said, I already have a plan for it. That means what? Say, here you go, again. You are also like other people asking why that's friends, same, play that. Well, have a plan for it. That means what? You have to prove it. Yes, this is what you have to do. God has a plan for him, right? God has a plan for him. You just have to go up a lot. If you go against the law, it's not going to be easy and happy. Therefore, he said, day after, he also studying that time, place, who's going to come. Day after tomorrow. Bhagavatham is day after tomorrow. So I am going to come with this slim, beautiful looking, thin, fair, nice, with a beautiful hair. His daughter. Devahuti will come. He's going to approach you, and you marry his daughter, and then produce children. That's going to be service for him. And the Lord disappear. Kadam. Now you are going to a fantasy movie, starting imagining how it looks like. She's going to wear jeans and what how she he just get into that breathe. He did meditate. The Lord is blessed. Okay, the wife is on his way. Marry it over. Day after must happen. Let's think about it. Sometimes what people get excited. Most of the thing, the problem of emotion, how it happens. When we know that someone says we have to take out, it's going to happen for you. Some good things is something. From now on, what I start thinking. Start building up. How nice that is. That person is coming to my house. It's going to be very nice. Now I can sit and chat. We can eat together. I start building up all those thoughts. All the selfishness, don't waste your time. When it happens, you start enjoying. Until that happens, do something else. Protect it. Don't start into your daytime dreams. Why? Day after tomorrow. Yes. What in cause and consequence? I'm sorry, something else came up. I couldn't make it. I come next year. What happens to you? All your dreams are collapsed. You've been somewhat very depressed. Therefore, that's the reason Krishna always says, don't get into this one. Be balanced. Always become too excited because something is going to happen nice. And don't become so depressed thinking that something bad is going to happen. Because both is not in your control. We know very well. So when it happens, let's cry. That time you sit and cry. Why are you wasting now 24 hours crying now? Preserve your feels right at that point of time. And preserve your emotion to enjoy at that point of time. That's more valuable, right? Better. Therefore, Radha Muni, as soon as he heard this one, he just went on his business. Whatever puja, whatever dhyan, dharma, yes, he was doing that. He was doing all those things. 1.5 days ago, day after tomorrow, it happened. Swayambhu was also given an instruction. Brahma gives an instruction. Now you go. You've been looking for a good spouse, husband for your daughter, and here it is, Kardama. Well, where is he? Where is he? Well, he's in the United States of America, St. Louis. Okay, does he have an H1? Is he an H1 visa or a green card holder or citizen? Well, he's a citizen. Oh, very good. Is he working for a company or is running a business? Oh, Yes, okay, $1 million business, his own business. Oh, he's not depending on someone. Very good candidate, very good candidate. Does he has his mother? Why? I know why you're asking. No mother-in-law problem. He doesn't have a mother. Very good, very good. My daughter can be happy. Did he ask all these questions? Because Kadava Muni did not have any of those things. He is a rishi, he is a muni. What can you expect from a muni? Didn't have any of those things. Nothing. He is in a forest, remote place. Nothing. Not sure whether he is going to have his next meal or not. That's how they lead a life. And as soon as Swayambhava Manu heard, he became very joyful, very happy. Guess what Satyarupa states? Sorry, Devahuti states. Or even his wife for that matter, Shatarupa, she's telling, what happened to you? Are you going nuts? You're going to marry my daughter to this guy who doesn't have anything? She didn't say this. My husband will make a right choice, decision. And where is the order is coming from? Brahma. They all know what's right for our daughter. Right, for our daughter. And then father and mother are making decisions here. And who's hearing that? Who, about who? Whose life? Devahudi's life. Daughter's thinking, here's a problem. Here's a problem. No. She started already living with Kadava Muni internally. As soon as she heard she's going to be her husband, she started living. She accepted it. She accepted without a second question, second thought. She accepted. And then they all went to Kadava Muni. As soon as they went to Kadava Muni, this is all part of our 17, 18, 19 chapters in the third canto, where Kadava Muni invited him, and Swayambhava Manu respectfully paid his obeisances to Kadava Muni, and they had a nice conversation. They said that the purpose of me coming here, I know, we know, we've been already communicated. Now, my daughter, I want to get her married to you. Please accept her. And Kadava Muni said, yes, I will accept her. And then as soon as the father gave, little back, this record is going on. So as soon as the father accepted, Kadava Muni accepted, father left. Father left. Father did not stay there for another moment. Or one day, I got my daughter married. Let me stay here for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and slowly they start staying there forever. And they're telling, your husband is not wise enough. He's not making good money. He has to do something. Go and tell your husband that he has to think about you also, your future generation, and then start giving advices to the daughter. Never did. Never did any of those things. Most of the problems are happening nowadays. Why? Because of this, one of this reason. This has been found out in Pune alone, India. They found that the separation rate has increased a lot, and they found, the researchers have found the reasons for why these are happening. Many reasons. Of course, husband and wife never stay together. Hardly the husband goes to work, wife goes to work. Night time they message each other. Your life, you take your food from the fridge. Right? They don't see each other. Hardly they see each other. Weekend they see, they are tired by the time the weekend comes. So they don't spend much time together, husband and wife. Problems are there, right? And another problem they mentioned there is the in-laws, the girl's parents. The girl's parents, they interfere in the married life, and they start giving advices and suggestions and all sort of things, right? And clashes with the opinions of husband and wife. Therefore, there's a problem. Anyway, like that, but Swayambhava Manu knows very well, I have given my daughter to the right person. He will take care of whatever it is. We should not interfere in their program, however it is. Let them run it. Even they fight with each other, let them fight. They will get together. We should not be interfering in this one. They went. Now what happened? Kadava Muni, again he was doing his own business. What was his business? Whatever yagya, puja, dhyan, meditation, that's all he knows. That's what he was doing. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, years passed, many years passed, and then one fine day, his wife was serving him. Devahuti was serving him. Whatever he needed for his, whatever he needs to do, he was supplying, he was doing, he's cleaning, taking care of her husband, washing his clothes and everything, keeping the house clean. Everything was being done by Devahuti. Nothing else was demanded by her. This section is especially very important for the Grahasthas, family life, husband and wife, how they have to live, the sections. So wife was living like that very happily, like that she was serving her husband. One fine day, Kardama Muni came to external consciousness. He was just thinking, he was saying, he said, one girl was standing in front of him. He was thinking, who's this girl? That's none other than his own wife, Devahuti. But when he saw first, when the father came and got him married, she was looking however Lord Vishnu told. Now she has become like thin, right? Eyes are all gone inside, right? Emaciated, completely gone, not properly taken care. Her health she was not taking care of herself. All she was doing only serve her husband. And Kardamuni was thinking, I know, who's this? Who's this? Then he realized this is his own wife, Devahuti. Then he thought, oh my God, what a blunder, mistake I have done. Being a husband, I should be taking care of my wife. But I was just doing so much of dhyan, I forgot to take care of my wife. Then he felt really miserable and sorry and bad about it. And he spoke to his wife. My dear wife, I want to take care of you. I want to do something for you. Tell me what you want. And then she remembered. And he also remembers that Vishnu, when he appeared, he told, through you, you will have 9 daughters. You will have certain number of daughters. And also I myself will appear to you as a son. Vishnu told, I myself will appear as a son to you. So Devahuti reminded her husband, my dear Lord, we are supposed to have children, but you've been busy in your meditation. This is the word of the Lord. So are we not supposed to satisfy him by doing our duty? And then as soon as Kardama Muni heard this one, yes, I failed to do my duty and I failed to keep up the word of the Lord. So we have to have children first. But let me do this thing for you. Because you become like this, I want to do something good for you. Immediately, with his mystic power, he built a big flying ship, aerial ship, very big, huge. It's like a mansion. It can fly, float. It can fly wherever you want. It will take you. It's a mansion which can fly. It had hundreds and thousands of servants inside. It has palace. It has beautiful garden. It also has lakes, swimming pool, swans and birds and trees and mountains. Can you imagine? All those things were there. He could do these things, right? Just imagine, wife had such a husband. Just by thinking, he can do all these things. Huh? Then he arranged all these hundreds of servants over there. He told them to take care of Devahuti. And Devahuti got a lustre, the everything back, appearance back. Now he told to the servants, take her and dress up or decorate her nicely. They took her and took her to the lake and gave her a nice shower with all sort of fragrant oil. Did a nice massage, oil and scents and sandal and so many things. And they dressed up her nicely, applied sandal on her body and nice, whatever needs to be done. Those days they also had whatever the ladies apply. They also had all those different things. But they're all organic. Natural color from fruits and vegetables and flowers, not like all the chemicals that we have. You apply anything, it's all toxins to the body, right? Therefore, there's nothing wrong in applying all this thing. Make sure it's organic. That's all. At least don't spoil your health. So Devahuti was given all this wonderful thing, and her hair was nicely combed and oil applied and flowers were put, and she's all set, completely decked. With all the jewels and everything. She came in front of Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni said, He was very happy to see his wife now, and they all in the mansion, the flying mansion. He took her, it's sightseeing now. It's a time, happy time, jolly time now. Therefore, he took her and showed different planets, different places of Siddhaloka, Gandharvaloka, and Yaksha. So many different lokas. He's traveling, happy time, married after many years. Just imagine. It's not like as soon as marriage you go for this sightseeing. He did all this thing. Now he was rewarding his wife, so he took her all the different places, and she was conceived. Now she got girls, all girls now. And then one fine day, again after the children is born, Kadamuni again got back to his, habituated to what he's been doing. So he said then, my dear wife Devahuti, now it's the time for me to, you have children now, now it's time for me to leave, take 100% sannyas. I'm going to be taking sannyas, I'm going to leave the Grahastha ashram, become sannyas. Let me go. When Kardamuni said this one, Devahuti put her head down, and with her toes she was scratching, moving the ground. If the girls are standing and doing something like this, that something is going inside, right? They thought something, they are thinking about, they want to express something. So she was thinking what to do now. And then I'm going to give you permission. Because sannyasi, if the grahasthas have to take sannyas, they have to get permission from their wife. It's not like they just leave the wife and one fine day she gets up in the morning and thinking that in the kitchen husband would have cooked all this paratha and whatever it is and going to get her some nice breakfast. And she comes in the morning and says the kitchen was all empty, pots are not washed, nothing was. Where is the husband? He puts a note. Enough of doing service for you. I'm sorry. I have to serve myself now. I'm leaving the house. Retirement program leaves. It's not like that. You can't run away from the family responsibilities like that. Therefore, he has to get the permission. It's nice in Upanishad. There is also a nice story like this where Gargi, Prachanam, Gargi, well, similar story is there when we'll see that later, but let's get on to our track here so we can get connected soon. Now, the Karta Muni is telling, my dear wife Devahuti, you got a children, now you're happy now, I'm leaving now. And she's telling, hold on, wait, well, you got me children, that is true, all the children you got are all girls. You know what's going to happen when the girls grow up, when they become big, what they will do, girls will do, they will get married and go to their husband's house. Who's going to take care of me, my dear husband? You are leaving. The daughters are going to go away. And what's going to happen to me? Therefore, I need a son. I need a son. And remember, the Lord has told He is going to appear within my womb. Within my womb. You got to satisfy that one. And the Karda Muni said, oh yes, that is true. I remember now. We have to obey the order of the Lord. Okay, postpone. Sannyas program is postponed. Yeah, but he postponed for the higher purpose. For us, this could be a valid reason to escape from that one. And now we have a reason. Don't need to do that one. No. He said, let me postpone temporarily. Let me work on this one. So they got into meditation. And then by the meditation, the Lord appeared within the womb of Devahuti. The Lord appeared in the womb of Devahuti, and He appeared. And that was Kapila Muni, Kapila Dev. The Lord incarnated as Kapila Dev. He appeared as Kapila Dev. Now, our Karda Muni, again he went back to his wife. He said, I'm going now. I'm going to leave now. You have a son now. My dear husband, even before this, the Kapila Muni was born, Devahuti was asking one important thing. I forgot to mention that one. My dear husband, you are leaving, that's fine. But then, I want you to leave on two conditions. One condition, you have to give a child, boy to me, number one. Second reason is, what is the purpose? what is the purpose behind you want to leave? Because I'm not a problem creator. I'm being a good wife. I'm not demanding anything. There should be a reason to leave the wife and go. If the wife is a good wife, why you want to leave the wife? Right? I'm being obedient to you, taking care of you, doing everything that a wife should do. Why you have to leave and go? That means you are something higher. Something higher. Therefore you're giving up me and going. I want to have that knowledge which drives you to leave me and go. I want that knowledge. Give me that knowledge. Give me a son, and I can sign off. Give a waiver release note. You've been released, right? They give this release note. You sign up a contract. You have to pay everything off. Then they release the contract, right? Waiver release note. Like that, you will sign a contract. You will be released to go. And Kardamuni said, "What? Well, I'll satisfy you the first demand. I'll give you a child. But the second demand of knowledge, your son will give you, not me. The son whom is going to be born to you, guess who was that? The Lord, Kapila Dev, Vishnu himself. He will give you that knowledge. I don't want to waste any further time. Right? He will give you the knowledge. I'm going by." That's what happened. As soon as Kardamuni had a child, Kapila Muni was born, Kapila Dev was born, not Kapil Dev. And that all. Then you start thinking that, oh, he must be a great sportsman. That name he took from this person, but completely to a different activities, nothing to do with spirituality at all. That is the name. So Kapila Muni, that's why I don't want to take Kapila Dev here. If you'll remember this person, not God, Kapila Muni we will say, right? Kapila Muni. Kapila Muni was born, and then Kardamuni said, I'm leaving now. And Devahuti also signed the contract, release contract, you can go. And Kardamuni left, and he fully engaged in meditation of Lord Narayana, and he left and went back to the Lord. So much we saw. Now, the conversation is going to happen between Devahuti and Kapila. This is what we have to see. This is what we have to get connected. A beautiful conversation, a teachings of Lord Kapila Dev, as the last few chapters of third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very inspiring, very nice, wonderful message. Let's see the timing. Any questions so far?
I have.
Yes.
You said the first living entity is Swayambhuva Manu.
First he was creating the rishis also, Brahma. Swayambhuva Manu was the first one. The first one with a wife added to it. Everyone else who were born, including Narada and Atri, Vashishta, they were also born from Brahma. But they born from a mind, and they also produced children, but in a different way. Some of them got married and did, but then Swayambhuva Manu, who came from Brahma, also got married to Satarupa, who also came from Brahma. Yes, they are the first couple who came.
What about Kardamuni also comes under the Narada?
Yes. Any other questions? Would you like me to continue to the conversation? Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay.
It's also that Prabhu's away next weekend. So we have a little gap here. So
Yeah, next weekend I'm out of town.
yeah.
I'm sorry that I cannot avoid it. But hopefully this recap what we did should retain. You should remember when we get connected to the fourth canto of Bhagavatam. Okay, we'll start going to some part of the conversation between Kapila and Devahuti. The Kapila Muni and Devahuti conversation is very inspiring, very important. And then the philosophy that Kapila Muni is going to teach his mother Devahuti was Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya is what is being taught in Bhagavad Gita. Guess which chapter is that?
2.
Second chapter. Second chapter is entitled as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means numbers. Sankhya means numbers. It's all about numbers, right? Numbers. These numbers makes up the entire creation. What are the different numbers which make the entire creation? And that's what Kapila Muni is going to explain to Devahuti, because Devahuti is asking a question. I am being conditioned so much, attached to family. I've been very much attached to family. I'm in an ignorant situation. Can you please give me some instruction where I can come out of this mode of ignorance? Devahuti is asking this question. And who is she asking to? To her?
Son.
Kapila is one, but who has her own son? From this we can understand advices can come from anyone. Sometimes we have this parents have some misunderstanding that they are parents, therefore they should not get advice from their children. If the children are like Prahlad, children are like Kapila Muni, then there's nothing wrong in taking advice from them also. Right? If the children are having some knowledge, there's nothing wrong in taking this one. Therefore, this is an ideal example where Devahuti is asking Kapila Muni, what is this one? And then Kapila Muni, the very first thing he starts and tells is that you have to cultivate Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna. Who is he telling to?
Mother.
And who is Devahuti? Daughter of Swayambhuman. That means granddaughter of Brahma. And then who is her husband? Kardava Muni. Is he in mode of ignorance? And then Kapila Muni is telling, we have to come into the mode of Sattva Guna. That means something is lacking in Devahuti, which is not making her to be in mode of Sattva Guna. It's pulling her into the mode of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Yes? What was her question? I am very much attached. Right? I am very much attached. I think about my family, etc. This attachment is not mode of Sattva Guna at all. Attachment is not mode of Sattva Guna, it's mode of Rajoguna. Thinking oneself to the body is mode of Tamoguna. Therefore, he is saying one has to come into mode of Sattva Guna. Unless and until one comes into the mode of Sattva Guna, one cannot cultivate Bhakti. Because Kapila Muni is going to explain here on the devotional aspect. Bhakti is what is going to drive and tell her. Therefore, here also, Kapila Muni is going to tell that perform dhyana, right? Understanding what are the elements that makes up this world. There are 24 elements altogether. Pancha Bodha, Pancha Tanmatra, Pancha Indriya, Jnana Indriya, Karma Indriya, everything all together, it adds up. Mind, false ego, right? Intelligence, add up everything, and that will come to 24. That number comes to 24. He says this one. That's how you have to start thinking and doing. And she is saying that I am a simple lady, and you are trying to give me a very complex number calculation, and I have to think about it. It's very difficult for me. I won't be able to do all this thing. And he said, then do bhakti. Then do bhakti. Right? Whether you are able to do Sankhya or not able to do Sankhya, it doesn't matter. One has to do bhakti. That's the ultimate final conclusion in Bhagavad Gita also. One has to do bhakti. Therefore, you do bhakti. That's the only way you can get out of this clutches of Maya. You can get out of this one. And then Devahuti is asking, why? Why we have to take birth in first place? Why we have to suffer like this? Why Brahma has to create? It's all started, problem started there. Right? Problem started why? Brahma created. If he hadn't created, problem wouldn't have been existing. It's like me telling why we have knives. If there is no knife, there won't be terrorism. The people won't kill each other. Right? Or there's no rifles or guns. We created it, and therefore we created problem. Will that be a good answer to say? Therefore, there should not be any weapons. Banned. All the weapons should be banned. Will that be a solution? Think about it. no knives, no other weapons. Will that solve the problem of the world? Yes or no? Well, it really depends on how you use those weapons. At what purpose? Knife can be used to cut someone's throat, can be used to cut apple also. Or a surgeon can use a knife to cut the body to cure someone. It depends on how you use the weapon. Okay? Therefore, creation is not a problem. Creation will happen, must happen. But then how we utilize it after the fact, after we've been created, how we do it, what we do makes a difference. Therefore, we should not blame the creation. Not at all. Right? Therefore, Devahuti was asking, why? Why have you been created? How we get created? And she's asking an important question, nice question. What is that Jivatma has to go through in its life? Especially before birth. Before birth, where are we? Before we physically appear into this world, where we are? In the mother's womb, yes? In the mother's womb. We all came from mother, yes? Anyone different from me? Like Brahma? No mother, just appeared? No. So we all came from mother's womb. So what happened in this mother's womb for 10 months? She's asking these questions. What happens inside mother's womb? Well, it's very simple. Go to the doctor, they will scan and ultrasound and all those things are there. We know what's happening. What's the big deal about it? Well, those days there's no ultrasound, there's no X-ray, there's no scanning facility. None of those things were. But in Bhagavatham, these sections explains what happens from day one of the conception happens, male and female, and that small particles comes together, and then that forms this bubble, small bubble. And at the point of time, what happens? How the growth happens in first few weeks, and after few months, and after few months, what are the things happen step by step by step by step, and what happens at the month of 7th month, and what happens after that. And these things will be also explained. I'm reserving this so we can talk in detail in the next class. It's just an overview of what's coming up now, because there are a lot of details to the sections. I'm just giving an overview of this one. Therefore, Kadamuni is going to go through all these things. And then he said there's something called Panchagni Vidhe. Panchagni Vidhe means what happens after this baby is born and grows and spends his time and it dies. What happens after the death? And after that, where he goes. And when he goes, he comes back. What is the process that he comes back? So it's a beautiful section of the entire cycle of from birth to death and again coming back into birth. Its complete cycle is going to be explained by Kapila Muni, and Devahuti is going to hear this beautiful section. And we'll reserve this for the class after a week. Okay, is it okay? Yeah. This is all coming up. We'll see more in details what's in this chapters, and that will conclude Canto 3. Canto 3. And Canto 4 onwards, pretty much seriously, we can relax. We can pretty much relax. It's all stories. From Canto 4 onwards, whose son is who, and what did he do. That's how the story goes from 4th canto until end. And in between, and close to the end, again we have to come back to some philosophical discussion, because we are wrapping up, right? So Krishna doesn't want to leave us just by stories. He has to give some message to us. Bhagavatam, it gives some message to us, and we conclude. So let's take these 3 cantos little seriously.
So the Sankhya philosophy, the Lord Kapila told in Bhagavad Gita same.
Yes. 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 And there is a thing, there's 2 different Kapila Muni. Okay. And they both give 2 different Sankhya philosophy. And they are more technical. But we are seeing the philosophy that given by Vishnu as Kapila on devotional aspect of that Sankhya philosophy. There's other school of thought of Sankhya philosophy. We are not touching that. Anything else? If not, welcome to 2020. Wish you all a very happy new year. Hopefully we can spend more time in Bhagavatam and take up more service opportunities. And just a request, if I can say, that our temple has been renovated, our ISKCON temple. So I request you all to please come visit our temple. We rebuild the whole temple hall. And if you have time, please come visit us. And if you have any suggestions or anything, please let us know. Thank you. Let this year 2020 be another wonderful year for us to get closer to God, Krishna. Let's pray. Take up more service opportunities. Service is what is important. So let's take up more service opportunities. Thank you. Hare Krishna.